All right, class, welcome to Lesson 11. This week, we get to focus on personal finances. And I'm so grateful that we get to spend a whole week on this because finances make such a big difference to how our lives go and how it can even contribute to our emotional and spiritual peace. So this is a great opportunity to delve into your own finances and see what you want to do with them. So for our lesson material and quiz, you get to read through the finances page, and notice this is the same information found at the Provident Living website. So if you already read that web page, the one for finances specifically, then don't feel obligated to read the whole thing again, but maybe skim it to refresh yourself on what it says. So you will go through and read this, as well as some talks, and watch a Mormon message. And this will help prepare you to see what you want to look for as you change your finances. And then notice that it says, as part of this lesson's application activity, you will keep track of your spending for 3 days. Okay? So that means that you need to start right away, as it says, so that you have enough time to do this, to track your spending, and then to write the application activity. This is a lot like the activity where we kept track of our time and then reported on what we found as we did that. So I would recommend that you start this as soon as you realize it's here. The absolute latest you could start it would be Wednesday morning. So just make sure you're on top of this and are able to keep track of what you need. So let's go ahead and go to that application activity and see what it asks us to do. So if we go over to the post gathering, application activity instructions, then you will see here that it wants you to track your spending for 3 days, and it has provided a spreadsheet for you to do this, called the expense tracking spreadsheet. I've already downloaded it, and it's right here. So as you keep track of your expenses for these 3 days, you can just write down those expenses in one of these categories. So whether it's tithing, savings, tuition or fees, food or personal items, housing items, so this could be things like if you needed to buy a new set of curtains or some plates, utilities like gas or power, things for your car insurance, other transportation, phone bills, insurance, medical, clothing, and then you can do other expenses here that you don't feel fit into these other categories and just type in the explanation here. So maybe you had some birthday expenses because there was a birthday in your family, so you could type in that explanation there. And it will automatically total all of those things for you right here. So notice if I put that I spent $1 in medical and $1 in clothing, that I then have spent $2. So it's really nice that it just automatically totals all of that for you. And if you're comfortable with spreadsheets, feel free to make these calculations more complex if that helps you. But this is just very straightforward for keeping track of your expenses. So that's the first step, is just to track your expenses for the next 3 days and make sure to save it to your computer so that you don't lose that information. Notice it says you will probably not spend money in each category during the next 3 days, and that's just fine. Just enter a 0 if you don't spend that money. And then the next step is to go to the financial calculator page and to explore the calculators there for at least 20 minutes. Make sure you're looking at least 3 links. And these calculators are amazing. They're calculators for helping you calculate how soon you could pay off debts, how much you should be saving for emergencies, just great calculators here. And there's even ones for figuring out if you should refinance your home mortgage. So look through these links and see what links apply to you and your life, and go explore them. And you can put in real numbers or hypothetical numbers to let you explore the functions of these calculators. And then you will be talking about what you learned from exploring those links in your write-up. Next, it wants you to set up your own basic monthly budget by writing down your monthly income and then typing the amount you would like to spend in each of the categories in the spreadsheet. And it wants to make sure that you adjust so that what you spend is the same or less than what you earned for your month, for your monthly income. And then to make sure that you are giving at least some money to tithing or savings. So what I would recommend doing is going through each of these and saying, how much do I want to put in here for the month? Well, let's say I want to do 50 here and 10 here, and I don't need any there, and maybe I need 100 here. You see what I mean? Just kind of loosely see how much do you want to spend in each of these categories. And I'm just throwing out numbers here, so I hope this is fine. Yeah, I really am just throwing out numbers. Let's say we don't put any there. And maybe you need 30 here. And maybe another 100 here. Maybe 50. And another 50. And then let's put in 20 for fun spending. That's what we'll call this. Fun spending. So you can go get a candy bar or something. I always need some fun spending. It makes a big difference how my days go. Okay, so the grand total from this is $810. So under this, I would put, what is my monthly income? And let's say my monthly income is only $750. Well, if that's the case, this, how much I'm planning to spend is larger than how much I'm making. That means I'm not staying within my means. So I would go through and I would adjust some of these numbers and say, well, what can I spend less on? Well, maybe I can make my fun spending, take that down to 10, and maybe I can do less on food and personal, maybe take that down to an 80. Oh, housing I could cut on. Let's take that down to a 30. Oh, I'm almost there. I just need to cut 10 more dollars. I think my car's doing pretty well. Let's take that down to a 90, or maybe I'll take that down to a 50 because I don't plan to travel much and put more into savings. And look down. Okay, now I'm under how much I'm making that month. That's great. That means I could even put 20 more into savings. So now I'm up to 50 in savings. So adjust it so that you're within your income. You're within your monthly income. And so that you have at least some in tithings and savings. This is a way to be prepared for emergencies. So I hope this helps you see how you can create that personal budget for yourself. And then as you go through the month, keep track of your expenses and see if you can keep within those guidelines you set for yourself. And that's the beginning of a budget for yourself. If you already have your own method of budgeting, that's just fine. Just reevaluate your budget and see if how you currently have your budget set up includes some money for tithes, some money for savings, and stays within your income. So feel free to do it that way too. And then we finally get to the write-up. So here are the questions you need to ask. And I would recommend that you number your answers so that you can know if you answered all 6 questions. So it wants you to talk about the insights you gained from tracking your money, as well as the insights that you gained from looking at the financial calculators on the Provident Living website. Okay, so make sure that you're looking at each of these questions and answering them fully. And then proofread your document and send it in. Make sure you are only submitting the document where you write up your insights, this part, the answers to these questions here. If you submit more than one document, I will only receive the most current document, which means I will miss whatever documents you submitted first. So just make sure you're only submitting this one, okay? If you have any questions, let me know. I hope that this helps you feel ready to go explore all of the financial information in this week's lesson. This should be a very beneficial lesson. Just let me know if you have any questions.